Okay, so let's look at the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire ate neither holy nor Roman nor an empire, according to Voltaire. During this time period, we're going to look at the most powerful leader they had ever had, and that is Charles V. He is a genetic freak, and he's a genetic freak in that he is both going to be the leader of the Holy Roman Empire and he's going to be the leader of Spain. Here's how that happens. Uh, Charles V is the grandson of Ferdinand of Aragon, who was the king of Spain and took it the transition of power just with the monarchy happened that Charles V would lead. Then also he is a part of the Habsburg family, which is on the Holy Roman Empire side. So he grew up in Belgium. He sees France as his own, even though it's not, and he's elected Holy Roman Emperor. And so you have Charles V is the leader of both the Holy Roman Empire and Spain. And remember, this is the time period where Spain has also colonized a lot of the Western Hemisphere. So, in grand terms of land, you will find some spots that put him as the third holder of the third most amount of land in history. Well, Charles V is big on religion. After Henry VIII gave up his title of defender of the Catholic Church when he decided to get divorced and split from the Catholic Church, that title is basically going to go to Charles V. Charles V will be a major defender of the Catholic Church. And he is very much concerned about religion, and he's very much also concerned about human rights. He's actually going to attempt to end slavery in the Western Hemisphere for a time, although that is going to fail. And during his time period, he is going to be ruling there in the 1530s, 1540s, and the 1550s. During that time period, he's big time working on religion. I mean, you're at the height of Martin Luther. The Reformation is giving princes more autonomy, so therefore taking power away from Charles V. And in the end, what's going on is you are having this basically battle going on at first just a non-war, but also just people are fighting each other on social tensions. It just doesn't work very. I mean, Europe is in chaos. There's no nationalism going on here in Europe. Charles V is trying to hold on to power. The Catholic Church is losing power. It's not really working very well. Not really working very well. And Charles V is fighting wars against France and the Ottomans, and Charles V is winning those wars. And Europe is just kind of in chaos. And Charles V is trying to bring people together, but it's not going to work very well. It's not going to work very well. Ends up one of the major things, a part of his life, which he actually kind of disagreed with because he's a stout defender of the Catholic Church, is in 1555 he signs the Peace of Augsburg, which was the fact that in the Holy Roman Empire, princes could choose whether to be Protestant or Catholic. Note nothing else. So think if you're a Jew, think if you're a Muslim, that kind of thing, or just think if you're one of those two, mainly a Jew. There weren't many Muslims in the Holy Roman Empire. The prince got to pick for that area. So if the prince decided to be Protestant, then everybody in that territory had to be Protestant. If the prince was Catholic, everybody in that territory had to become Catholic. Now, King Charles V will give up his throne and split the empire back into two. So Spain will be, he was ruling both at the same time. They never really combined. He splits it into two. You have King Philip II take Spain, and the Habsburgs get Austria. It's kind of a mess. But Charles V is an incredibly important figure, and the Habsburg family, basically, you can tie everything back to the Habsburgs in Central Europe for a long time moving forward. Now, like I said, where you had chaos throughout Europe, the Rhineland area of modern day Germany has a ton of witch hunting going on. There's social divisions, there's political divisions. There's a theory going on that the witches are getting their powers from the devil, and the witches made deals with the devil for supernatural powers, and thought it was a better way to explain what was happening. And so basically, people who if you thought that people weren't doing the right thing, you'd call them a witch. You'd call them a witch. There were about 110,000 people that went on trial for being a witch. 85% of them women. Overwhelming number of women. 45,000 of them would find them guilty. They would then burn them at the stake. They could excommunicate. If it was the church court, you'd be excommunicated and in prison. If it was a secular court that found you guilty, you would get executed. Not a lot of positive things going on here. There's tons of wars. Okay, the Spanish Armada was the biggest fleet in the world at the time, and they are also Catholic. They are going to go and try to dethrone the Protestant queen in England, and it's going to fail. I mean, the Spanish Armada, I'm sorry, King Philip II of Spain tries to get England basically to rejoin the Catholic Church. I mean, Henry VIII is dead. Hey, you should come back and join us. You didn't really change your views that much. And so he sends the Spanish Armada with 130 ships and 30,000 men. England holds them off. Spain is going to be having problems in Europe because also Spain had a huge part of kind of that north of France, north and east of France, which is modern day Belgium and Netherlands. And King Philip I tried to keep Netherlands from leaving, but remember that Netherlands had a was hugely influenced by John Calvin, and they basically go to war, and Netherlands leaves. And then so it divides itself also into two parts because you have Spain and I'm sorry, Netherlands will be forming and Belgium will be forming. It was two different. Some of the provinces beat Spain, some didn't. The ones that left became Netherlands. The ones that didn't lose, or the ones that did lose to Spain, they became Belgium. You have now we go to the 30 Years' War. It is the biggest of these wars by far. It's gonna start in Bohemia, which is the modern day Czech Republic and a little bit of Germany. It's the most destructive force that's going to happen in Europe at this point. I mean, a third of Germany's population died. It's all about, at first, it's all about religion, and the Holy Roman Empire attempts to return the Bohemians back to the Catholic Church. It starts with what is known as the defenestration of Prague. Literally, some Protestants threw some counselors of the Habsburg family, the leaders of the Holy Roman Empire, out a window. When they don't die, the Catholics say they were saved by angels. And when the Protestants give the reason why these Habsburg counselors, why they didn't die when thrown out the window, the Protestants say they landed in horse dung. The literal translation is you can figure out the word that starts with S. So this all this tension is building up, and that's just kind of the trigger that starts this Holy Roman War. As time starts, it's Protestants versus Catholics. But as time goes on, it becomes more and more and more political to the point where it's basically whether you're with the Habsburg family, the leader of the Holy Roman Empire, Austria, Spain, or you're against the Habsburg family. You also see the height of Sweden at this time, with their leader Gustavus Adolphus teams up with France. And France is giving them money left and right, and Gustavus Adolphus and Sweden is beating the Habsburgs all over the place. Now, Gustavus Adolphus dies, and then France will switch roles. France will become the main military power, and France basically goes to war with and the Habsburgs, and the French win. The French win the war, and this sets up where you now have this new system set up, and it's all set up by the Peace of Westphalia. Now, here are some of the major points. First of all, no more. This is the last major religious war. Last major religious war of the time. Second, sets up the sovereignty of states, that you won't mess with the others. Okay, you can do your thing, do it. Spain, stay Catholic. Italy, stay Catholic. England, stay Anglican. France, stay Catholic. Germany, or modern day German Holy Roman Empire, you're kind of gonna be both. But either way, hey, each state you can have. You're sovereign. Everyone is equal. No one is better than the rest, although France is the power. And this really sets up what we now know today as a balance of power. That if we treat everyone as equals, we shouldn't go to war with each other. How's that going to work? But the Peace of Westphalia is that this is going to end the religious wars. That, hey, you control your area, you deal with your own things. Sovereignty of states and the balance of power that's up. Here's the map that comes with that. All right, what do you remember from this lecture? Charles V, who he is, how do you get both ruling spots, Peace of Augsburg, witch trials, Spanish Armada, 30 Years' War, and the Peace of Westphalia.